Radio Yorkshire.
Your home of rugby league on DAB, online and via the TuneIn app.
And any minute now, it's going to be on then between the Leeds Rhinos and St Helens as we look for the team who's going to come out on top and take on Wigan Warriors next Saturday night at Old Trafford. Will it be a repeat of the first ever grand final, the inaugural Super League grand final of 1998, as Craig mentioned earlier, when Wigan beat Leeds, or will it be a repeat of last year's grand final when tonight's Rhinos opponents St Helens saw off the Wigan Warriors in that game, which saw Ben Flower of course dismissed in the first few seconds of the contest, and certainly had an influence on that result. So kick off any second now. Then it's going to be Zach Hardacre. Leeds playing from left to right as we look at it from the main stand here. That is kicking towards the western terrace, the away end of the ground, if you will. And St Helens, well, they have packed in thousands of supporters down that end of the ground. A fantastic following has made it across the Pennines. We all know how difficult those travel conditions on Friday evenings are, so well done to them. And it is packed to the rafters here at Headingley. It's got to be. You'd be pretty confident this is the biggest crowd of the season and bordering on a sellout as Zach Hardacre starts play then, and it's deep into Saints, and Jordan Turner has put that one down with the first play of the game. He's put Zach Hardacre's kickoff down, and that is a shock start and a great opportunity for Leeds to strike first here.
Yeah, that's something Zach Hardacre has worked on over the last few weeks. Huddersfield had all sorts of trouble last week with them same kickoffs, and again it spiralled, torpedoed into the lights, and Turner never ever looked comfortable under that, and that's a huge error, and Leeds are right on the attack inside the first 10 seconds of the game.
Robert Hicks just asking the scrum to reform, not happy with something there, but they're going to pack this scrum down just outside the Saints 10. First chance for the Leeds then. Here is Adam Cuthbertson in those orange boots. We're so familiar to see him carrying around the park. Burrow from dummy half then we'll find. Brett Delaney to his right. Delaney tackled 5 metres out, and it's Burrow to Sinfield to his left. Now Maguire to Ablett. Ablett thinks about the offload, takes the tackle. Typical commitment as you'd expect here from Saints in defence. Now Maguire takes the ball from Hardacre, tries to wrestle free of a couple of St Helens defenders way out on that far side, the left hand corner for Leeds. Ablett now goes back to that corner having taken the pass, but again he's wrapped up, and good defence from Saints has held Leeds for these first 5, and they've hardly made a metre. So Danny Maguire's going to go skyward here with a crossfield bomb. Underneath it is Adam Swift and Tom Briscoe. Swift makes the catch, Briscoe nowhere near it, and St Helens have survived, and Jordan Turner will be a very relieved man.
Yeah, and I think, it's a strange one, but after that first set, I think Kieran Cunningham's probably the more happy of the coaches, because, Saints' defence was really strong on their own line, and as you said, Leeds in 6 tackles never really made a yard. A 50-50 kick over the top, and Swift easily above Briscoe. So the first real challenge, Saints have answered it with flying colours.
And they have it now with the big fella, Mossy Masoe, tackled by combination of Moon and Ablett. Quick hands away to the left, sees skipper John Wilkin take it, and Saints have only made about 25 metres here in their 5 tackles. Luke Walsh now kicks deep on the last. Zach Hardacre well positioned, takes it on the 20 and hands it on to Ryan Hall. Hero in the end of last week after being a bit of a villain for long enough. Tackled and plays it to Burrow, and it's now Zach Hardacre picking up from first receiver and taking it towards halfway. Big Mitch Garbutt drives back James Roby, who was first up there and as enthusiastic as ever in defence. Burrow to his left to Maguire. Ablett comes back on the inside and is well watched in defence once again by who else but James Roby. Cuthbertson gets it away to Sinfield, who thought about the show and go, but it was mainly because the defence was up quickly on him. Last tackle of the set, and it's Maguire going to go down this short side. It's taken well in the end by Adam Quinlan, who is not the biggest of fullbacks, is he?
No, he's not. He's an ex-halfback, isn't he, who's adapted to a role in that fullback, but he was really, really good under the high ball then, and already we're, set for set, no quarter asked, none given. Really intense start to the game from both sides.
Just that one mistake then in the contest. We can see Well, we've got Emmerdale stars, we've got Luke Gale, we've got opposition players around. Everybody wants to be here at Headingley tonight. And here is Masoi trying to get the ball away to Flanagan. Mark Flanagan now has coughed it up. So second mistake of the contest. Both have been made by the visitors. We're less than 4 minutes in. It's still scoreless. But Leeds are going to have a scrum feed here, 10 metres inside the St Helens half.
And that was a big opportunity because Mossy Masoi had got his arm free. And Flanagan was into the hole, and he just stuck one arm out and tried to bring it in. I think he could have got both arms there, and that's one that's got away. And Saints have got to take some opportunities. Your Leeds don't give you too many, and that certainly was one. They had 2 men extra on the outside. We've already seen, this season the pace that Swift has got, and he would have been in the clear if Flanagan had been able to take the ball. And Leeds have come up with a big error now.
Yeah, Callum Watkins has lost it. Free play here, and Masoi's put the kick in. And Zach Hardacre is going to beat everybody to the chase by some distance. That's probably why Mossy Masoi is not the St Helens regular kicker, but it was a free play, and it was an opportunity to try and create something from nothing, and they're going to get the ball back anyway because of that error by Watkins. So a couple of errors for Saints and now one for Leeds. Just that bit of tension. The standard though so far has been high.
And I think also as well we've got to throw into it, it's been a really warm day, hasn't it, and the temperature has just dropped a few degrees, and there'll be a bit of dew out on the grass, a little bit on the ball, a little bit slippy, and it'll take maybe a couple of minutes for the boys to get used to the conditions out there. But going back to that kick from Mossy Masoi, if it had been more angled, it was a really good idea because Swift already had the outside of Briscoe, but unfortunately for Saints the kick went down the middle instead of out wide. If it had gone to the corner, it would have been interesting.
Yeah, maybe a John Wilkin might have been better with the ball on the end of his boot there, don't you think?
Yeah, maybe so.
Saints have it at the moment though with Mark Flanagan, tackled by Ablett just inside his own half. Here's Kyle Amor, the bearded Kyle Amor, tackled just inside the Leeds half by Leuluai, who's starting tonight, having been on the bench last week. Jamie Peacock starts from the bench again tonight for Brian McDermott. You'd have thought in a game like this he might have given him the full 80, or JP would have been wanting that. But here's Villa, Atelier Villa for St Helens down the right hand side. Roby picks it up from dummy half and beats Moon, beats a second man, and is still going. James Roby, could he score a brilliant try here? Yes, he can. James Roby, what a player. We talked about him before the game, how influential he is on this St Helens side, and he has danced rings around the Rhinos defence and come up with the opening score inside the first 6 minutes. It's Leeds Rhinos 0, St Helens 6.
Super try from Roby, absolutely nothing on, picked it up, got the ball, ran at the defence. It was a quick play, the ball from the Saints initially that had created the half opportunity, or not even an opportunity at all if I'm being honest, and he picked it up, stepped away from one, got on the outside of Garbutt, threw a dummy. And we've been talking about Hardacre's defence. Hardacre will be desperately disappointed with that. He went high, and Roby's got such phenomenal upper body strength, he just pushed him away, span out of the other tackle, then from 5 metres had too much pace, threw in a sidestep to boot, and that's a good a try as we've seen all season. Maybe not the full length of the field, but he's beaten 6-7 players there by Roby. Special players, as we said, on special occasions find something extra, and Roby's just put the Saints in front 4-0.
Yeah, fantastic try from a brilliant exponent of the sport, and I think whoever you support, you've got to stand and applaud that, because that was brilliant. And the Rhinos behind the posts will be just having a word about who should have been hanging on here and there. Joel Moon was shrugged off maybe a little too easily. Kylie Leuluai, I think, was the man who Roby just stepped on the gas and outpaced. And then the opportunity was there in a few more strides, and just the pace that he'd already built up, the momentum he had, was going to make him difficult to stop, and so it proved.
I think what they're probably saying, Jonathan, is I probably think they're not even talking about the try. I think what they're probably saying is, let's control what we can control. We've given them that. We've gifted them the ball with the Watkins error. If we play out our 6, Roby's not in that position, and I think that'll be the Leeds mindset. He's tried now, nothing we can do about that. He scored. Let's make sure the next time we've got the ball, we control that and we finish on our terms.
And so the restart was exactly the same as we saw first time, in the sense that Hardacre kicked and Jordan went for the catch, but this time he was successful, and Saints have it just inside their own 20. And Walsh added the extra 2 points with the conversion, so 6-0 to the Saints then, and we're just over 7 minutes gone on the clock at Headingley. Luke Walsh to his left, where Wilkin Gets the ball away to Josh Jones, who bumps himself away from one man before Callum Watkins makes the tackle on the Saints 20. They've still got plenty of yards to make here on the back of that fantastic try. What can they do with Luke Walsh's kick on this last tackle? Not the best at all. Taken on the full just inside, well, within 10 metres of halfway by Briscoe, who hands it on to Hardacre. Although Hardacre's run was lateral and he was taken on the far side. Now Jamie Peacock is already coming off the bench here, less than 8 minutes into this game. Garbett has possession for Leeds. Kylie Leuluai is coming off and JP is going on, and yes, well, understandably, massive round of applause from the home support, but Delaney has it for Leeds at the moment, trailing 6-0. Live and uninterrupted here with Craig Murdoch and myself, Jonathan Doidge, on Radio Yorkshire this evening. Jamie Peacock for Leeds, tackled by Masoi, last tackle of the set. Sinfield hangs a kick up here, fullback Quinlan underneath it, was well met by Maguire in defence, but stood up to it well. Also did the Saints fullback.
Arguably that was a penalty. Was he in the air? I think probably it was, but Leeds have got away with that one. But again, JP into the action pretty early, probably earlier than what I think Leeds would have wanted, but trying to get a platform into the game, trying to get some good field position and good go forward. Brian McDermott's decided that JP needs to be into that action.
Fantastic atmosphere then at Headingley for this semi-final contest. Who's going to get there to Old Trafford next weekend? Well, Saints have a penalty here.
Yeah, Maguire just having a little second go there, and Flanagan had got on the front foot, he'd won the play, the ball, trying to get to his feet, and just a second effort, giving away the penalty, and Saints again will be attacking Leeds try line come the back end of this set. And it's a frantic pace, Jonathan, isn't it? Really, really quick. Both sides are asking lots of questions of the other team's defence.
Yeah, it's what you'd expect from a game of this magnitude. James Roby's 6-minute try, if you just joined us, plus the conversion from Luke Walsh, the difference between the sides at the moment, and a fantastic individual score it was from the great hookup. Saints have it then. Amor, here's Masoi trying to bust a hole in that Leeds Rhinos defensive line, but it's doing the job at the moment at least. Here's Walsh running laterally, ball back on the inside, close to Veer, and here is Jordan Turner, and Turner held around about 30 metres out by the tackle of Garbett. This time it's Amor once again getting through plenty of work. Kyle Amor in this first few minutes of the contest. Walsh, here is Veer once again on a diagonal run towards the posts, battering ram style. Took some strong defence, 3-4 men in the end peel off having made the tackle, and it's the last one of the set, says referee Robert Hicks. Here they come down the left hand side, a little grub kick through from Walsh, well watched and adjusted by Hardacre, because the bounce could have been a little bit unkind, but once again it's just something within. It's not something that you can particularly practice, that is it? It's just instinct.
No, and it's good play all round, really good kick from Saints, good chase, and Hardacre did everything that it was asked of him, and Leeds appealing for a penalty, but they've almost got a break, and they have now through Joel Moon.
Yeah, Joel Moon going down the left hand side. He's got Maguire in support, but he just can't get there. Good defensive work from Makinson, just put his body between the two players and prevented the pass. But the roll on for Leeds here. Burrow finds Peacock. Peacock flicks it out the back door to Sinfield. Opportunities here. Watkins, long ball to Tom Briscoe. Can he get another corner? Yes, he can. Tom Briscoe has got the ball down in the right hand corner for Leeds, although referee Hicks says no try on a referral to the video referee. 11.5 minutes in, Briscoe shakes his head too.
I think Briscoe thinks he scored, and so do I, and we're going to watch it now.
Oh, dear.
He hasn't. He hasn't. Big defence from St Helens, and Briscoe, big error there, because he did excellently well. He stepped inside and put two players into touch. I thought he'd done the hard work with a big screen. Referee Robert Hicks made the right decision, and that's great defence from St Helens to get back and stop him from scoring a try. But great rugby from Leeds Rhinos. Joel Moon, something out of nothing. As you say, great work from Makinson to get his body in between them. But then JP with a great offload out the back door. Watkins with a sublime pass to Briscoe, and Briscoe, make no bones about it, should have scored there, Jonathan.
Yeah, great opportunity for Leeds. And will they come to rue that come the end of this contest? because Tom Briscoe, full of confidence of course after those 5 tries at Wembley, and you would have backed him there every single day of the week. 6-0 it remains to Saints, who have possession over on the right hand side then. Roby and Alex Walmsley, by the looks of things, is out there. He is indeed already out there as well for St Helens. Long ball out the far side, chance here for Makinson. They've got a man back on the inside. Brilliant interception in the end from Leeds. It was Mark Percival who was back on the inside waiting to take the ball.
Danny Maguire did fantastically well. He just got himself in between the pass and the try-scoring pass back inside to Percival. Makinson, great play from him, but the pass was just Danny Maguire right into his breadbasket. And what a game, Jonathan. It's not letting us down, is it?
Certainly is not. It's an absolute humdinger in his first 13 minutes. Long way to go. Great atmosphere and some quality play from both sides. Here's Sinfield for Leeds, who've only managed to make it to their 30 in 5 tackles. So Burrow takes matters into his own hands, and he has hoofed that ball a long way downfield, and it's been picked up by Tommy Makinson inside his own 20. Good chase from Leeds.
Yeah, it was, and you said man down, Percival, Makinson as well. He's getting up to his feet really gingerly, and that would be a big blow for St Helens if he couldn't continue, and he's not sure if it's a head knock or he's a bit ginger, a bit groggy. We'll see what happens with him, but great play, maybe even a little bit of professionalism to give his Saints side a little minute to get back.
Here is Alex Walmsley then, who we were talking up before the game, and he's going to take some stopping tonight. Gordon Turner to Atelier Villa.
He's been sensational in the first 10-15 minutes. Villa really strong.
Yeah, powerhouse runner Mark Flanagan for St Helens. They've used up 5 as well. They're getting through this sets of 6 each team at a real rate of knots. Here's Luke Walsh. His kick is dead in goal. It's going to be a 20-metre tap restart, and I guess when the prize at the end of the day is Old Trafford, then there's just that extra stride, that extra fervour from both sides, that extra enthusiasm. They're just pulling out more.
It is, it's just no quarter asked, is there, and the game's been played. I think the thing about it is, Jonathan, 15 minutes has gone, big mistake by Leeds again with an offload, trying to get the play, and Saints kick, and it'll be brought back because it won't be anything in that. It'll go out the back, yes it does, but the speed the game's been playing at is phenomenal, isn't it? And you can see already that both sides are really breathing hard. Both sides have interchanged the front rowers. We've been playing 15 minutes. That normally happens after 20. So, this could be last man standing. Have they got the energy to play at this speed for 80 minutes?
Jimmy Kinehorst was limbering up, ready to go on. He's now been returned back to the bench. So, not at the moment is the call. And Saints are going to get possession then, 35 metres from the Rhinos line with this scrum following that knock on under some heavy pressure by Mitch Garbett. Saints have it, the champions in possession, in the lead here by 6 points to 0. Roby to his left to Walmsley, who was just losing his footing as he took the ball and met with both Delaney and Ablett on the way down. Here they come, St Helens again. This time it's Wilkin down the left hand side. Now Turner looks to throw the dummy, but this time Garbett makes the tackle. Watched him well. Roby's in at dummy half and is going to go to the right, open side. Wilkin gets the ball away to Amor, who's still going. Kyle Amor bounced off the first man a bit too easily for the comfort of the home support there, and eventually stopped only a couple of metres short. Big chance for Saints. Last tackle, grub kick comes in from Roby, and it's been played out there by a Rhinos defender. I think it was Brett Delaney. It's back in the arms of St Helens. They're going to get 6 more tackles then, and they are camped on the Leeds line at the moment. Can the Rhinos hold out in defence? Can Saints find another way to unlock them? Here's Turner stepping off the right foot. Leeds missing too many tackles here inside their own danger zone, and they're going to have to be real solid now. Oh, interception here by Danny Maguire from Luke Walsh's pass, but the penalty's gone to St Helens for offside against the Leeds man.
Yeah, I don't think you can pass the ball from the floor and it be intercepted by the other team, so it's probably the right call, but really quick off the line, Maguire. There's not a lot in it, to be fair, but the referees adjudged that he was. I'd take the 2 here, because this is going to be frantic, and we've seen both sides' defence is really strong. Then boosts tell you that St Helens are going to go for the 2.
So, chance for them to increase that advantage and make Leeds score a couple of times.
Chance for us to have a minute, Jonathan, because it's been frantic, hasn't it? Really quick start to the game.
Have you got kettle on, lad?
I'll tell you what, though, I've got a pie for half time for us to share, so we're all right.
Of course, these sides have met on 4 previous occasions this season. Leeds going to Saints early doors and winning 41 points to 16, and then coming back here, of course, in July, winning 46-18, and then that Challenge Cup semi-final 31st of July with a 24-14 success. But you don't beat St Helens 4 times in a season very often. You're not playing 4 times in a season very often, but you don't beat them 4 times in a season very often either, I don't think. And sure enough, they came here and won 32-18 in that Super 8s contest. So 3-1 to Leeds, but of course this is the one that's all important now. That's history. And Luke Walsh is trying to just nudge his side a little bit further in front here. Comes in now, midway out to the right hand side, taking the ball back about 15 metres, strikes it good, and it's Leeds Rhinos 0, St Helens 8.
Yeah, good kick from Walsh, never looked like missing, and I think that's got to be the order of the day for both sides. I think, points are going to be at a premium. We've seen already some great attack, but we've also seen some great defence from both sides, so if the points are there, take them. The price is too big. It doesn't matter how you get there next week, whether it be a point or 2 points or 20. It's all about getting there next week, and if the points are there, take them. Great kick-off again, but Turner this time somehow manages to bring it in.
He's having a torrid time under Zach Hardaker's kick-offs, but I guess if he's going to be receiving kick-offs all night, he'll be happy enough, because it means his team are likely to have put the ball down at the other end, or registered some points.
That's one of them where you shout yours, I think.
There's Veer down the right hand side for Saints, midway inside their own half towards the right flank. Roby goes in at dummy half and feeds the ball inside to Turner. It's very slippy out there, as you alluded to earlier on, with that dew, I think, from the warm day and the rapid cooling as darkness has descended, and a lot of players seeming difficult to keep their feet. Here's Walsh though. Saints have got numbers on the right hand side. Here's Villa once again with a mazy run, really asking questions to the Leeds defence, but he handed it on to his right, and the ball has been flicked out into touch on the far side. Saints are claiming that a Leeds hand was in there.
I think they're going to look at it. I think they're going to have a look at it, aren't they? And
Makinson's remonstrating with the touch judge on the far side, and we're having a look now. Ryan Hall's hand might have got in there. It's hard to tell.
I think he's got it, because Percival's looking at his winger, isn't he? And you can't tell from that angle, but if it isn't, it's a shocking pass from the Saints centre, and he's changed his mind and give it to St Helens. I think that's got to say Percival's a good hands, hasn't he? And that pass was 5 metres off its mark, and he was only 5 metres away. So you've got to say that's been played at by Ryan Hall, and I think the decision is the right one.
So Saints gets the scrum feed here, and Leeds are going to have to defend again inside their own half. John Wilkin, Saints captain and very much a leader. Here's Kyle Amor down centre field. Plays it now to Roby following Peacock's tackle. Here's Walmsley hammering a hole down the centre, and Peacock was back to make the double tackle, clinging on to his opposite number for dear life. The kick will come in down this corner. Here's Swift to try and get it in for Saints. Knocks it back into the path of Tom Briscoe, but the ball had gone dead, and it's going to be a 20-metre tap restart, and Briscoe's pretty keen to hair back there and take this one quickly, but then loses his own footing, as does Walmsley, as everybody's falling over here. I think they need to go to get the long studs in at half time. Very slippy on top. Here's Sinfield to Garbett, tries to step his way through. No penalties in the game yet for the Rhinos, and the fans are all off their feet here, claiming that was offside against St Helens. Zach Hardaker now for Leeds. The drum beats in the background, atmosphere electric here at Headingley as Sinfield takes the ball, and Garbett leaves the field to be replaced presumably by Singleton. Yes, here he is now taking up this next carry. Offloads to Burrow. Can Burrow step through the gap here? Oh, now that's a very, very high shot indeed from Atelier Villa on Rob Burrow. Absolute clothesline. Right. Well, it looks better on the video replay than it did at first. When you first saw that, he just looked like he'd pulled his head off.
Yeah, it was a high shot, definitely a penalty, and Leeds will ramp it up now. the crowd getting on the back of the referee, who's given very little to both sides, and they're baying for blood and baying for the penalty, but real good attacking opportunity now for the Rhinos inside the 20 of St Helens.
And we're a quarter of the way through this game, live on Radio Yorkshire with Craig Murdoch and me, Jonathan Doidge, where Maguire finds Watkins. Here's Zach Hardaker chiming through, and Hardaker slides over the line with his momentum and gets the ball down. But once again, referee Hicks is not happy that that's a clean try. He wants to check it, but he refers it up vitally this time as a try.
Yeah, the locals don't like it, but he's got to make sure it's the right call. And great play from Leeds, and what it was, Watkins shadowed over from the right hand side into that left hand channel. He made the extra man, came round the back, but not only that, he had the presence of mind to offload the ball on his shoulder to Zach Hardaker. It's a try every day of the week for me, and I'm sure with his first look I'll just confirm it. They're looking at the crossing, but for me the Saints man has made the wrong call there in defence. He's committed himself. If this is chalked off, this is a bad call for me, but don't be surprised if it is. You're looking at the grounding now, so he's going to give it. Great play from Zach Hardaker. That has to be a try.
Looks like they're going to give it. They went on to the grounding. Here comes the call, and it is given as a try, and the Rhinos have got their first points of the game then through Zach Hardaker, nominated of course among those three nominees, along with fellow Rhino Adam Cuthbertson for Man of Steel. The other candidate of course is out there on the field as well this evening, and we're just looking at the replay of that high shot on Rob Burrow. I know it's easy to go high on Rob Burrow if you like, because he's just about the smallest player you could come across.
It was high, Jonathan, there's no bones about it. It was a penalty, but there was nothing more than that. Burrow's bags of pace hit the accelerator button, and Villa just instinctively stuck out an arm, and as you say, right round Burrow's neck. Right call, penalty, play on.
Sinfield then, from about 10 metres to the left of the uprights and just beyond 10 metres back, strikes the ball now for his conversion attempt, and you would have put several people in your streets mortgages along with your own on him getting that one, and he's just done the job. 6-8 in favour of St Helens.
Well, halfway through the first half, Jonathan, it's everything that we wanted to be, wasn't it? It's really, really tough. Both sets of forwards are giving it each other. The game is played at a breakneck speed, and you've no idea where the next points are coming from, because it's just end to end, set for set, played, as I said, at an amazing speed, and just great and privileged to be here.
Zach Hardaker then moves on to 99 career tries with that one. It's a pretty good record. He's hardly been in the game for more than a couple of minutes. And here is Adam Cuthbertson then. And Leeds have it following the restarts inside their own 20. Brad Singleton, no chance for anybody in this stadium, I don't think, to get the breath back, and certainly not these players. Here's Burrow scampering from dummy half. Rob Burrow has got the half gap, but it was closed in the end by Josh Jones, who got hold of his shirt and scragged him to the ground. Brett Delaney, the Aussie, the former Gold Coast man, such a reliable player for Leeds, and he's tackled just inside his own half. Last tackle of the set. Maguire's kick is charged down by Louis McCarthy-Scarsbrook, who's out there now for the Saints, and Leeds have it back for 6 more then with Hardaker. Now it's with Ablett. Ablett tries to beat a man and gets it away to Maguire. It's just starting to open up a bit more for Leeds here. Here's Cuthbertson following Maguire's offload. He heads down centre field. Saints just look a little bit disorganised, and Leeds at the moment have them on the hop. Another high enough looking challenge there from Wilkin on Burrow. Nothing in it, says the referee, and Leeds have it with Maguire switching it back to this near side to Peacock. Peacock tries to find a way through, pumping it away backwards towards the Saints line. Now it's with Watkins to Delaney. Delaney to Sinfield. Short ball to his left. It's to Brad Singleton. He's held up by 2 Saints defenders 5 metres out. Last tackle of the set. Sinfield's going to go across to this near corner. It's taken on the full low over his own line by Adam Swift, who's going to try and get a flyer here from the 20, and does so, but can't get through that line of Leeds defence.
Great play again. Saints defence was great. Leeds attack really good. Burrow buzzing round the dummy half, looking for a lazy defender, but Saints not dropping off, and the game is said it's breakneck speed, and amazing athletes out there on both sides, and there's points more in this game soon, because both sides are starting to feel the heat and feel the speed of the game.
Now, Wigan did a fantastic job on Huddersfield last night to win very comfortably at the DW, but this is a proper contest of a semi-final. Leeds Rhinos 6, St Helens 8, 16 minutes to go before the break. Fantastic stuff. Here is Luke Walsh. He's going to hang a kick up deep inside Rhinos territory. He's going to test out Tom Briscoe, who doesn't take on the catch, but the Saints players were well offside, encroaching within the 10, and have rightly been penalised.
Now, what I think he said is that Josh Jones has pushed Briscoe, and he certainly has. You know, he's gone in there and he's pushed him. I'm not saying Briscoe would have caught the ball. You know, he looked a little bit away from it, and that's a bit of an error from Josh Jones. Great kick into the night sky, but it was certainly a penalty, and Leeds will be relieved to kick the ball into touch and tap it round about the 40.
Revealed? That's easy for you to say.
Yeah. Even I'm getting caught up in it.
So 2 penalties apiece, one of which, of course, was kicked by Luke Walsh, and that's the difference between these two sides at the moment. Here's Carl Ablett for Leeds, just inside the St Helens half then. Tackled by who else but James Roby. Burrow finds Peacock, centre field. And he's stopped again by a wall of white and red defence. Now it's Sinfield to Delaney. Watkins tries to get on the axe. Haven't seen too much of him at the moment with ball in hand. Stopped once again with Roby involved in the tackle. Sinfield now to Maguire with a one-handed catch. The ball just a little bit away from his body, runs laterally and links up with Hall. Hall tries to straighten it up again here because there were defenders waiting in numbers for him out on that left flank. And it's last tackle of the set. And Maguire's kick is into the left-hand corner. Ablett underneath it with several other players. Leeds have come back up with the ball here through Cuthbertson, and the tackle count being wiped clean. So Leeds will get 6 more, and they are 5 metres from the Saints line, just about hugging that left-hand south stand touchline. Here's Singleton for the Rhinos, driving towards the St Helens line. They'll take a try from anybody, from anywhere at the moment, will Leeds, to try and get in front in the game. Not the best of passes, well picked up by Sinfield, onto Hardacre, and now with Watkins. Watkins has Briscoe to his right, but can't get out of the tackle of a combination of Jones and Roby, and Leeds get the penalty. And are they going to do the same and level the scores here?
Yeah, I'm sure they will do. Yep, no hesitation. Sinfield points at the stakes, and like you said before, the whole street's mortgaged on it. Probably the same bets just doubled up, and Sinfield will level things up and won't even be able to get a sig paper between these two sides. But again, the game is just played at breakneck speed, and it was a great kick across from Maguire, right on the money. Saints didn't have the answers to the questions. Rebounds back into Leeds' hands, but both sides' desire to make that tackle, to make that next tackle, is incredible. And as we thought, Jonathan, it's really, really difficult to call who's going to come out on top. We're 27 minutes into it, still no further idea than I had at 7 o'clock this evening.
And this is why we love this game so much, because the players out there, not only are they playing to a fantastically high standard, but they are giving everything they've got and displaying some wonderful skills. Kevin Sinfield then to try and level it here for Leeds. 10-15 metres away to the right of the upright, straight between the posts, no problem. And the scores are once again level. It is Leeds Rhinos 8, St Helens 8, and we have just less than 13 minutes to go before the break.
Yeah, and again we knew the outcome before. It had left Sinfield's boot. You know, he's not only such a great player and a great leader, but his goal kicking is, you know, as good as it's ever been. And you know, just that part of his game is going to be certainly missed by this Leeds Rhinos side, but he's still got lots to give in his Leeds Rhinos career, and he'll be hoping that he can fire them into that final next week and he goes out with another Super League winners ring. But as it stands, with 12 minutes to go to the break, all tied up at 8-8, it just adds more tension and more excitement to this game that we're watching before us.
Yeah, nobody's played more games in the Super League era than Kevin Sinfield. It's his 527th match, and he has now kicked 1,905 goals. Incredible record, and it's the strike rate that he produces year on year. Here is Joel Milner for Leeds, makes the break. He's got support from Watkins, he didn't see him. He's handed the ball over this near side, or tried to hand it to Briscoe. It was touched in flight by Walsh, and he's got it back here, Joel Milner. But if he'd have got the ball away to Watkins, he'd probably be somewhere now, touching down by the posts. Here is Maguire though for Leeds, down the right hand side. No chance to debate that one at the moment. Peacock once more, and he's running towards the St Helens line. tackle 5 metres out. Burrows going in at dummy half. Turns and ships the ball to Sinfield to his left. Here's Singleton this time. Saints up to it once again in a superb defensive performance so far. Burrow to Maguire. Maguire looks to throw a long one to his left and then straightens it up towards the posts. And they've used 5 now in this set. Last tackle then, Burrow to Sinfield. Out the back door is Hardacre, puts the grub kick in, but it was well read by Quinlan. It wasn't the best of kicks. But Saints get the ball back inside their own 10, but not sure if you agree with him or not. If Callum Watkins had received that ball, you'd have been backing him to score a try.
Yeah, I think Joel Moon just misplaced where he was, didn't he? Because Watkins, it seemed to came from nowhere and got on his shoulder. If he'd have straightened up and drew the full back and popped it to Watkins, it'd have been under the sticks. But what's happening is, Jonathan, the speed of the game in the middle of the field is really, really tough, and they're going at each other. But when Leeds outside backs, which are the best in the competition by a long way, are taking on the tiring Saints forwards, the footwork is doing for them. And Joel Moon 2 or 3 times has just been too good on that front foot. As Roby goes for a 40-20, as he got it, misses by a yard. But going back to my point, Leeds outside backs are causing Saints big forwards all sorts of problems in the middle of the field.
Yeah, great attempt by James Roby, but just misses out by probably about 6 feet, from that 40-20. And that would have been a real fillip for Saints, under a little bit of pressure there. But Leeds are going to have to now work their way out of that 20 once again. Joel Moon, who really a man for making, you don't notice him making clean breaks that often, doesn't kind of take on the defence and break them. He's often part of a creative movement in the side, but tonight too.
Yeah, he's been very, very good. He's been very good all season. It was in my dream team that I picked. I think he was, very unlucky not to be in it, but he's been sensational tonight, as all 26 players who've been playing so far have been.
It's nice to know that you dream about these players.
Yep, certainly do. Live, breathe, sleep rugby league, Jonathan.
That's us on Radio Yorkshire. Here's Callum Watkins then for the Rhinos. Just inside Saints territory. Sinfield to Cuthbertson. Quick offload to Peacock, who bounces off one defender and then turns into another 2 or 3. And he makes it to just about 10 metres inside the Saints half. Clock counting down towards half time. There's about 9 minutes to go. Legs are really going to start tiring on both sides here defensively after the pace of this game. And it's who can take advantage of that. Last tackle, kicks come in. Quinlan does well to get back and field that on the full in his own in-goal area, and so Saints will get a 20-metre tap restart. Yeah, it was just a little bit too far, and Quinlan didn't take the gamble of letting it bounce and go out the back. I'm sure it would have done, but he took matters into his own hands, caught it on the full on the 20-metre tap for Saints, and Kainos has just stood up again. Jonathan went to the touchline with his board and then got called back in, so he's not having much luck at getting on the field tonight so far. And Alex Walmsley has come off. He's just sat on the exercise bike, keeping those thighs pumping before he goes out for another spell. He might even get back on, who knows, for a few minutes before the break. Walsh. That could be a key part of this game as well. Jonathan, Leeds have made 2 substitutions. I think Saints are at 4, maybe even 5. So, that's going to be key. Come the dying embers of this game, if Leeds can get on some fresh men, who knows, it might be the difference. Walsh's kick is deep. Josh Jones chasing it down. Well done by Zach Hardacre, but a fantastic chase from Jones, and that stopped Leeds inside their own 10. Here's Tom Briscoe, Wembley hero. Can he make it to Old Trafford for the first time for him in Rhinos colours? Cuthbertson, Adam Cuthbertson down centre field. The defence is bruising, brutal, and the pace with ball in hand is absolutely relentless. Here is Peacock with the offload to Sinfield, who's trying to get through. Sinfield ended up being tackled, and it's the last tackle of the set. The kick comes in from Burrow. It's a good long raking kick from Rob Burrow. They obviously thought about this one before the game tonight, because that is a different tactic to what we see often from the little fella. It's a good kick. Yeah, I think it was needs must though, Jonathan. I don't think there was any game plan in that. He realised that Sinfield had got caught in the ruck. It was last tackle, and Burrow's smart enough to know that he needs to get rid of the ball, but his kicking's been really good out of hand tonight. But again, this game 8-all, there's nothing in it, and Saints are on the back end at the moment. Leeds are dominating the game, but it wouldn't surprise you if Saints make a bust, as they almost do there, and score some points as we approach half time. Yeah, that right hand side has certainly looked the more dangerous of the two so far from the champions' point of view, and they have it now with Wilkin, who looks like he might have received a bit of an injury here. He's certainly laid prone for a few seconds, and he's now getting up gingerly to play the ball. Several water carriers going out there,
and that's why you got a big size 12 from Adam Cuthbertson. Absolutely accidental, hits him right in the face, but that's rugby league, isn't it? You get kick in the face, carry on, next tackle set.
Now then, Walsh's kick has come down, it's bouncing around still, it's on the last tackle. Saints are trying to do something with it. We know how dangerous they can be in situations like this, but they're going backwards at the moment. They still have it though with McCarthy Scarsbrook out to his right to Turner, but that's a forward pass.
And Finn wave back to one as well. That's a big mistake by Jordan Turner, but he'll come back. Obviously he gets the second opportunity because there was no real advantage, but Saints just improvising there was nothing on, and how many times did they just kick the ball and tap the ball, and it was on the floor, just never dying and getting the ball away, and the crowd don't like it, but Danny Maguire was certainly involved there with that play, and it's a 50-50 call. They don't like it, the game goes on, and Saints will have a great attacking opportunity 25 metres away from Leeds line.
Adam Cuthbertson just making his way off then. We're 5 minutes before the break on Radio Yorkshire with Craig Murdoch and myself, Jonathan Doidge, live, full, uninterrupted commentary on this semi-final clash. And we've got no idea whatsoever which way it's going to go at this stage. It's Leeds Rhinos 8, St Helens 8, and I think the game is all the better for that. Here is Roby, to his left was Andres Savelio, but in the end he dummied and went himself. And Leeds are going to get a penalty here.
No, it's a knock on. Roby's knocked on from dummy half, Jonathan. He don't like it, but the Leeds faithful helped out that decision. There's a hand on the ball. Yeah, there's a hand on the ball.
Got away with one there. It was obscured by the pillar that's propping up the television screen in front of us, so I couldn't see that. I thought it was the cheers were for a penalty, but they'll take that with Leeds.
Yeah, they will, and you know the Saints commentators next to us are a bit disappointed with the call, but you know there's one of them that it's really difficult for the referee to make a call on. It's behind play, it's at breakneck speed, the game is being played at, and look, that's his first real error in 36 minutes for me, and if he does one or two of them a game, you're happy with that performance for me.
Jamie Peacock in his 499th career appearance. How he would love to make it 500, which would mean that he will of course be at Old Trafford next week. It's a lot of rugby to be played here before then. Real quick defence from John Wilkin to get up on his TV colleague but opponent tonight, Jamie Peacock. Plays the ball to Burrow. To his left is Singleton. Maguire back on the inside. Well worked move from Leeds, but well watched in defence by Savelio. Just stops Leeds in their tracks. Now it's Sinfield juggling with the ball. They're always threatening at the moment to get through here, the Rhinos, but Saints are finding something each time to stop them from doing so. Here's Maguire's kick on the last, out of play, deep in Saints territory. Less than 4 minutes to go on the clock. Leeds are obviously very happy to defend down that end of the field.
And breathe. We get a rest for 30 seconds.
Yeah, we'll do some breathing exercises at half time as well, I think.
Great game of rugby league, and you know, unfortunately, Jonathan, we're in the minority, aren't we? There's 20,000 people here who know what this game's all about, and unfortunately, there's 26 million who'll be watching the Rugby Union tomorrow. And for us, it's not a patch on this game. This game today is everything that's good about professional sport. John Wilkin there has just sprinted up 10 metres to belt Peacock as hard as he could, and the first thing he does when Peacock plays the ball is taps him on the head and say good drive. That doesn't happen in any other sport, does it? And as he said, we've played 37 minutes, we've still no idea where this game's going.
What a cracker it is though, and St Helens have the ball at the moment with Andre Savelio. As Craig mentioned earlier in the broadcast, he's been in fine form in this last 2 or 3 months for the Saints. John Wilkin, we know all about him of course. Long time in the game and all those international appearances. Deep kick from the Aussie Luke Walsh, then taken just inside his own 20 by Hardacre, who brings Briscoe around the back to take this, but he's running laterally at the moment, trying to link up with his wing partner from the other side of the field, Ryan Hall, and Leeds made about 70 metres across field there, but 0 forward. Joel Moon, who's had his shorts ripped halfway off his backside, so the ladies will be looking at that one quite keenly. He takes up the next run, and now it's with Carl Ablett. And Sinfield to Galbert this time. Maguire to Hardacre on missing out Watkins, and finds Briscoe, who's now going to go back in field. Saints are stopping Leeds though. They're throwing the ball about sort of basketball style, really, off the cuff. But St Helens' defence is just holding them and not making a great deal of progress forward. Peacock has just got into the St Helens half, and it's on the last tackle. Sinfield to Burrow, turns to Maguire. Will they try the power play here? He's going to try the chip through, is he, like he did last week? Well, this time it's nothing like as good an aim and disappears into about row 4 of the south stand.
Yeah, it proves that even the greats are normal, aren't they, and can come up with errors. Maguire, who's been sensational this season for the Rhinos, just trying to get on the outside to try and hook his foot round that ball and put it down the channel to give Ryan Hall something to chase. Got it all wrong, into the stands, and minute and a half to go to half time. Tempted to get as many yards as you can and go for a 1 point here, Amy.
And people are getting up to go to the toilet and things like that at the moment. Go get themselves a pint before the queues get too big in the bars. Why would you leave this alone? A minute to go with these two sides playing. This is when it's going to happen, surely. Here's Savelio. Here's Villa, I should say. To Jordan Turner. Percival out the far side to Makinson. Percival's back on the inside waiting for the return ball. Leeds have got there in defence. There are less than a minute to go. Can Saints edge ahead before the break? Walsh turns back to the short side to Percival. Two Leeds defenders wrap him up, but he's got it away to Villa. The threat continues from the champions. It's 5 or 6 metres out. Ball is back to Walsh. Now it's with Turner. To his left is Savelio. Turner tries to step on the gas and go through. It's on the last tackle. Will Saints try that drop goal? Walsh tries the drop goal. It's Ablett attempting the charge down, but Craig Murdoch called it, and it happened. Luke Walsh successful with the drop goal from about 15 metres out, and Saints will have the lead at half time by 9 points to 8.
People might think I know something about this game. a lucky call, but yeah, Saints went for the 6 points first, and Percival made a big break, and this could be key, Jonathan. Percival is still down in the far corner in that right hand side. It looks like he's turned an ankle, and hopefully he'll be able to carry on in the second half, but I'll be very surprised if he can, because he doesn't look good at all. How big a blow for Saints is this if Percival can't go? They're going in front at half time by that odd point, 9 points to 8. Certainly there's more scores in this game, but as I said, this is a key as anything that's happened in this game so far, if Percival can make it out for the second half.
Yeah, Mark Percival, well, like most players on the field there, has had a real good first half. Both teams leave the field. We'll try and get our breath back during the next 15 minutes or so, and let me just remind you then, recap on what's been happening here at Headingley this evening. A 6-minute try from James Roby, an absolute top draw individual effort against some defence that Leeds will probably ask some questions about of themselves, but nonetheless can't take anything away from a brilliant score. Goal by Walsh to make it 6-0 Saints. Tom Briscoe bombed a chance in the 12th minute for Leeds. He was in the act of scoring but couldn't keep control of the ball to get downward pressure. Try was ruled out. That could come back to haunt the Rhinos, who went 8-0 down on 17 minutes when Luke Walsh's penalty was slotted over after an offside against Danny Maguire for an interception effort that he made. Zach Hardecker then got one back for Leeds on 20 minutes, which was goaled by Kevin Sinfield, who then added a penalty himself 7 minutes later to make it 8 points apiece. And Leeds, well, you'd say they've probably had the better chances slightly in that first half, but to be fair, it's been a pretty even contest, and Saints just nudged themselves ahead with that Luke Walsh drop goal right on half time. They've left the field here at Headingley. It's Leeds Rhinos 8, St Helens 9. Loads to look forward to. Don't leave us on Radio Yorkshire today or tomorrow. We'll have Leeds United, of course, against Birmingham City on digital, and I'll be there with Craig online from Bellevue as the Wakefield Trinity Wildcats take on the Bradford Bulls in that big £1 million game. Who will have a Super League future? Well, we've got less than 24 hours to wait to find out.
Radio Yorkshire, your home of proper sport on DAB, online and via the TuneIn app.
Perfect timing then. You rejoin us at Headingley right on cue for the kick-off of this second half with a score. Leeds Rhinos 8, St Helens, the holders of this Super League trophy, of course, 9, and play with Saints playing left to right. That's towards the western terrace end of the ground, if you know it. Here at Headingley is back underway with the kick-off straight into the arms of Jamie Peacock, who knows, could be playing his last game of rugby league tonight. Certainly if the score stayed this way he would, and that would be that for a great player, as Brett Delaney has it for the Rhinos then. Delaney just outside the 20. Now it's with Garbett. Bounces off Wilkin before the Saints skipper gets back to hold him for a second attempt along with Roby. And here is Burrow with that kick downfield, which is an attempt at a 40-20. Has it made it into the 20? It was inside the 40, just outside, similar to James Roby earlier in the piece.
Yeah, very, very close. You know, it was a good attempt for Robbie Burrow, and he's been very good tonight, Robbie Burrow, hasn't he? You know, he's kicking out a dummy half, has added an extra dimension to their play, but just looking, and you know, he's persevered.
Looks as though he might not have made it back on the field. We're just focusing on that injury just before half time, which suggests, oh, is he there? There's Tommy Makinson, who's also been focused on by the cameras. Just checking to see if Mark Percival's there. Is this him in possession now? It is. Mark Percival is back on the field, so that issue he had just before the break, he's got up gingerly, he's limping again. Left side, knee, ankle perhaps. So trouble for Saints down what is a very potent right hand side here. Roby to Walsh. Walsh just shows the dummy. The borderline pass just on the halfway line. Picked up there by Joe Greenwood. And St Helens have used 5 in this set of 6 as LMS is tackled middle of the field. Kick comes in from Wilkins, hanging, hauls underneath it. It obviously swirled around a little bit for him as well, but it came down in the right spot as far as he was concerned. He's played the ball following the tackle to Sinfield, who's making a mazy sort of run before the Saints get across there and do a bit of defensive work midway inside the Leeds half. Now Garbett straight head on into James Roby. 2 more St Helens defenders help him, and Sinfield's in at dummy half to find Singleton this time. Singleton makes it over that advantage line and over the halfway line and thinks about an offload. It was a risky proposition, and in the end the ball was clamped. Sinfield now to Peacock. Here's Hardaker, he's throwing a dummy and trying to ghost his way through, but there's no fooling this St Helens defence at the moment. Sinfield's going to go short side on the last. It's going to be a high hanging kick once again from Maguire. Well watched at the back though by Makinson, who'd come round to help out his fullback and make an extra catch up, and he does the job.
Yeah, Makinson's struggling. I'm just wondering, you know, maybe I'm saying we, Jonathan, I'm putting you in this. I got it wrong at the half time on that far corner. It may
Excuse me.
Yes, I do apologise. It may well have been Makinson who was in all sorts of trouble, because Percival looks fine, but Makinson's all over the place. You know, he's really, really struggling and doing it tough at the minute, and you know, if he carries on, you know, he can barely walk. You know, so maybe it was Makinson who got injured just before half time and not Percival. As I said, it was right in that far corner, wasn't it? But the game goes on, and it's just started the second half exactly the way the first half did, where no quarter asked, none given. Yeah,
real intensity about this contest. Last tackle of the set, Walsh to Wilkin, who's going to kick from just inside the Leeds half to the corner. It's a good kick as well. It's fielded by Briscoe, who's been chased down rapidly. Brilliant chase from St Helens. Hardaker takes the catch. Now then, the Rhinos fans not happy with that there was a second effort, a late, maybe a flop coming in, but their team have still got the ball and they're messing about inside their own in-goal area here. It was Briscoe who threw out a speculator and has put his team in trouble, and Hardaker's been held up in goal. He's asking what the heck was going on there to his winger, and Leeds are going to have to drop out.
Yeah, and what happened was, he said it certainly looked like a second effort. It was a silly offload in the end from Leeds, and Hardaker nowhere to go, but Hardaker did well to get back into the field of play, and what Greenwood did came in. As we watch it there, Roby had done great, Wilkin had done great, but then Greenwood comes over the top and absolutely whacks Wilkin. But it looked like a second effort. It should have been, in my opinion, a penalty to the Rhinos.
So one apiece, I guess, then, in that respect. They say that they'll level themselves out one way or another. It's a good dropout, no doubt about that. Deep into the well, not deep, but certainly a fair way into the Saints half. Run back by Louis McCarthy Scarsbrook. And St Helens have made good yards as well. They're 30 from the Leeds line, and they've used up 2 in this set. Luke Walsh looks to his left. Louis Walsh. And it's Jordan Turner. Now it's with Roby. Out the far side is Joe Greenwood, and Greenwood's making a real handful of being stopped by the Leeds defenders. Here's Walsh once again. Jordan back on the inside to Louis McCarthy-Scarsbrook. 2 Rhinos defenders around him. Held 6 metres out. Last tackle of this St Helens set. What can they produce here on attack? A juggle from Walsh. He's put the kick in behind the defence. It's fielded by Maguire, who makes it back into the field of play, and Leeds have weathered that set well.
Yeah, they certainly have, and Ryan Hall into free space.
And here he goes, Ryan Hall down the left-hand side. He's got Quinlan to take on. It's an amazing run from Hall. Can he beat Quinlan? What a defensive effort from the fullback, because he was under all sorts of pressure there from the world's best winger, quote unquote. Long ball here from Maguire as Leeds have broken the field. Watkins running at his man. The ball's bounced back into the arms of Burrows. 6 more, says the referee. Burrow held 15 metres out. Saints have managed to get back in numbers now. Can Leeds capitalise? Garbett tries to switch play to the right hand side of the post. Held up by Roby, 8 metres short. Burrow spins it left. Maguire out the back door is Moon, juggles with it. Held by Percival, gets away from his man. And still going, Joel Moon, still going. A reasonably high looking shot from Louis McCarthy-Scarsbrook, but play continues with Burrow to Peacock. Peacock laterally held. We've got a Saints man down in back play at the moment as Leeds play it far side. Delaney to Watkins, grub kick from Watkins. It's been juggled by Quinlan at the back, and St Helens have survived. Quinlan on the end of it, out on that far side, and it was down to him that Ryan Hall didn't score a spectacular almost length of the field try.
And again, the game just goes from end to end, and one team's on top, and it's been the first 6 minutes of the second half have been all Saints, haven't they? But then Leeds just come up with a play from nowhere, and Ryan Hall just splits the defence, goes round the outside. You think he's going to push away from Quinlan, but Quinlan just about hangs on to him and brings him down, but then he comes up to the tackle in the second half and makes other side of the pitch and comes up with a play to get the field, to get the ball back in play. And Percival, as we look, and just a clash of heads, I think, with Joel Moon. He's in all sorts of trouble. Makinson's in all sorts of trouble, but Leeds defence into attack, and again the game just goes wow. We've seen everything, and we come up with plays time and time again.
So Mark Percival back on his feet. Obviously Tom Makinson still limping around in back play as well, so there are problems down this Saints right hand side, there's no doubt about that. That was a great piece of defence from Adam Quinlan in the end to stop Ryan Hall, and that's 2 great chances Leeds have had. Certainly the first one Tom Briscoe fumbled was one that they may still live through. 33 minutes to go in somebody's season here. Is it the end for Leeds? Is it the end for Saints? It's the latter who lead by 9 points to 8 following Luke Walsh's drop goal seconds before the break. They have it at the moment with the outstanding Atelier Villa, who plays the ball to Roby. Late effort in defence there on Turner, who kicked the ball. Both Turner and a Leeds player, Brett Delaney, are down. Meanwhile, Tom Briscoe is on a return carry for Leeds.
Yeah, Leeds Saints could be last man standing here. So now the full right edge, left edge for Saints is struggling. Hardacre's in all sorts of trouble. As we said, substitution is going to be vital in this game. You know, come the end of the game, we could be 12 against 12, 11 against 11.
What a brutal contest this is. It's like
and
a war out there.
The happiest man of all is Sean Wayne at home, clapping his hands.
And here's Burrow for Leeds. Burrow with Hall to his left. Ryan Hall takes the pass. Oh, brilliant cover defence again from St Helens. Makinson it was. Here's Ablett now, crashing through for Leeds. Has he got the ball down? The home fans cry yes. Robert Hicks isn't convinced and takes a closer look. And he's going to go to the video screen here. Just over 8 minutes into the second half, and he calls it a try and refers it upstairs. Has Carl Ablett put Leeds in the lead?
Super play from Leeds, you know, a great step back on the inside by Ablett. Makinson somehow made the tackle initially. Can't see from there whether the ball's down. That looks like a boot. The ball looks like it's short for me there. That's not the ball that was down, it was a boot. And it looks in the air. You can't give it from that angle. The only thing here is the referee has given a try, so unless you can say it's definitely down, it's not down, sorry, this is going to be a try. I don't think this is a try, but can you 100% say that that ball isn't down? Big call here from the ref. That's the boot, that's not the ball.
So deliberations continue here. Carl Ablett has come up with 12 tries for Leeds so far this season. Is it lucky or unlucky 13?
That's a boot that the crowd are taking. That's not the ball, that's someone's boot. So that's not the ball. The ball's there, the ball's short. That ball isn't down. There's no way is that ball down there for me.
So Saints walking away from their own line there, trying to convince everybody that this is no try and that they have survived. That was a fantastic piece of defence from Makinson in the build-up, which we've not managed to talk about because of this.
The ball's short.
Stop Hall from getting over.
The ball this has to be chalked off. The ball is definitely short.
Here's the call. No try is the call, and I think correctly so as well from the video refereeing team of Ben Thaler and Richard Silverwood. Carl Ablett just hadn't got the ball down. The Rhinos players were all back down the other end. They were confident it was going to be given because of that referral as a try.
Yeah, but Rhinos have still got the ball, that's the thing. They've got a few more tackles left to play.
They've got one tackle left to play, and here it is. Maguire to Sinfield. Sinfield, though, well, they just weren't organised with it because they thought it was a try. They've had to rush downfield, and that was all a bit, well, all to cock really, to be honest, because
Delaney limps off in back play as well, and you know, after that collision, Saints right edge is in all sorts of trouble. Delaney has come off with a dead leg or a knee problem, and it's really tough out there, and it's brutal. Another half break by Veer, and still 9-8, 10 minutes gone, and the game is just getting more brutal by the second, Jonathan.
Yeah, it's an unbelievable encounter in terms of its intensity out there, what it must be like to play in. The players' breath must be just burning in their windpipes out there. And it's just like a cauldron out there in the on the green lush stuff here at Headingley, as Walsh has it, turns to his left, and it's John Wilkin putting in the kick. Good kick as well from John Wilkin. Is it just going to prove too strong? It is. Leeds will get the 20-metre tap restart, but nonetheless it was a good effort from Wilkin.
Yeah, and what Saints have done as well, Jonathan, while all that's been going on, the winger Makinson has left the field. Percival has dropped onto the wing, and LMS is playing in the centre role now. So it'll be interesting to see if Leeds, Joel Moon's had lots of success on this side already. Does he fancy having a go at trying to beat LMS for some pace on the outside?
What a game. Here is Kinehorst out there for Leeds then to replace Brett Delaney. Still haven't seen anything of young Jordan Lilly just at the moment. Sinfield runs from dummy half and hands it on to Peacock. He gives it to Maguire. All these star men from over the years getting involved for Leeds. Now it's Burrow to one of the stars of the season in Cuthbertson. Back to Burrow. Still got it, Rob Burrow, but it's a good defensive effort from Wilkin to make the tackle. Now Maguire to Ablett. Ablett just tries to put a bit of footwork on here. Sees a gap, just not quite quick enough, Carl Ablett, to take advantage of it. Somebody like a Burrow himself probably would have scampered through. Last tackle of the set. Sinfield to Maguire. Hangs up another one. Quinlan's underneath it. Leeds are chasing in numbers and get there to wrap him up about 11 metres from his own line.
Yeah, Maguire tried to milk the penalty, stayed down. When he realised he hadn't got it, he jumped back up and into his defensive position. I think Roby was tiny little bit late, but you know, with this game they're hard to give a penalties because it's played right on the edge, and back into the action comes Big Walmsley.
Leeds Rhinos 8, St Helens 9. If you just joined us recently, you're listening to Craig Murdoch and myself, Jonathan Doidge, here on Radio Yorkshire. Full live uninterrupted commentary of this semi-final. Winner goes to Old Trafford to play Wigan next Saturday night. End of the season for the loser. Walsh, raking kick from him, splits Briscoe and Hardaker. It's the Leeds winger that picks it up. It's a suspect looking pass there, almost forward to Zach Hardaker inside his own 20.
Yeah, well, a dodgy pass, wasn't it, from Briscoe? This time he'll just wrap it under his arm and try and take on the defenders, but he just didn't fancy the run back, thought Hardacre was in a better position, but as you said, it was borderline forward. But Leeds outside backs again coming in to make good yards, as they've done all season.
Yeah, that was Hall. Now it's Sinfield stepping on the gas from dummy half, finds Cuthbertson, and now it's Maguire onto Watkins. A beautiful flick pass. Callum Watkins' handling at times is just mesmeric, and he gets it away to Maguire. Here's Cuthbertson to Watkins once again. This time he hands it out on the far side to Jimmy Kinehorst. By the looks of things, he's a long way off. It was Kinehorst, and it's on the last tackle, and it's a punt this time from Sinfield. Ablett chasing it down. It was very deep and taken near his own goal line by Percival, who's trying to break through here, Mark Percival. And well done to Joel Moon with a great tackle to stop him, because a couple more strides and he would have been shut the gate time, or perhaps maybe just Zach Hardacre, the last line to beat. Roby inside to Turner. Adam Swift now coming inside to get through a bit of work for his forwards. Just inside the Leeds half, Roby to Wilkin. Now Walmsley back out there on the field and tackled on the 10 inside the Leeds half. Roby goes left to Walsh. Here's a chance for Amor, who bounces off Ablett. He's got support on the inside, but he's going himself, Kyle Amor. Oh, wonderful tackle from Zach Hardacre to stop him 2 or 3 metres out. Great chance for Saints. Last tackle, kick comes in. Oh, Peacock's fumbled it over his own line.
Be another set of 6 regardless, or a drop out from under the post, and brilliant play from Kyle Moore. Should he have passed the ball? Arguable, but he backed himself to get on the outside, and Hardacre, as what he's done all season, is he comes up with the tackles one-on-one, no right to make that tackle. Did Amor drop the ball? Yep, he did.
Knock on Amor in the build-up to that, so we're going to go back to
yeah, he's made an error there, the referee.
He's not seen the knock on. Is he making Leeds drop out?
Yeah, I think he is.
Stop the clock again here, and he's obviously receiving some information by the sound of things.
He's play on. He's stopping the clock because Leeds are taking the time, but Saints have got away with one there, Jonathan.
So second drop out of the game. Both have been taken by Leeds, who should have been in possession right now. Here's Walmsley. Could that prove to be a vital call? Saints come up with a try in this next set now. Then there's going to be some recriminations from it. Here's Villa. Twists and turns into the Rhinos defenders. Peacock heading up that little posse. Here's Walmsley. St Helens closing in 15 metres out. Another battering ram burst from Alex Walmsley. To his left is Walsh. Now it's Amor, the man who made the break. Look at the strength from the upper body of Kyle Amor. Just flattening Adam Cuthbertson with the hand there. Roby, short ball to his left, but Greenwood has spilled it there on the left hand side for St Helens, and Leeds have come back up with it, and I guess that's justice.
Yeah, a bit of justice there, as you said, because if it had been a try there, it would have been a talking point, and we don't want this game to come down to one of those. We want this game to be won by some great rugby league or some really fierce defence. We've had both so far, and again, 15 minutes gone in the second half in a blink of an eye, and the game is still absolutely 100% in the balance.
Cuthbertson for Leeds, who trail then by the odd point 9-8 to St Helens. Singleton now for the Rhinos, midway inside his own half of the field. St Helens, their enthusiasm is enormous. Here is Kylie Leuluai, first time we've seen him since the 8th minute of the contest, after he missed that tackle on James Roby. Kick is coming from inside his own half here from Danny Maguire, and been handed on to Adam Swift, and he's tackled just outside his own 20.
And the game again, Jonathan, just ebbs and flows. Saints having a real go at Leeds' line, but Leeds having the ability to clear the lines with some strong drives. Leuluai with the quick play of the ball that allowed Leeds to kick on the front foot, and now Saints finding yards hard to come by, struggling to get out their own half.
Well, we've seen grand finals that have been inferior to this contest this evening. It's all on at Headingley, fantastic, and it's James Roby in possession for St Helens. Plays the ball, and the pass is flicked by Quinlan on the inside, where the kick comes in. Underneath it is the safest hands in the competition at the moment, Zach Hardacre. He's not going to drop that under no pressure, and he gives it to Briscoe to his right. 22 metres out, Briscoe receives the penalty here. First penalty for either side in the second half, and it's gone the way of Leeds.
Yeah, just a second effort from Greenwood. He certainly had a bash. It's a 50-50 call, and unfortunately for the Saints, it's gone against them. The Headingley crowd roar on, and Leeds again will be attacking the goal line come the end of this set, I'm sure.
Feels like an away game here. We've got the Saints boys to our right, we've got the Saints commentators to our left, but we'll tough it out for Yorkshire, and it's the Rhinos who have the ball at the moment. 23 minutes to go and 1 point separating these sides in an absolute humdinger. Here is Kylie Leuluai in the blue and amber then, within 30 metres of the Saints line, which has not been breached for quite some time, and certainly not in this second half. Ball's been bobbling around for a moment or so there before being picked up by Hardacre, who's running laterally, and pops up a pass for Singleton, who steps back on the inside. Singleton finds a bit of joy, and Singleton, the penalty looked like it was a high shot to Leeds, but it's gone against the Rhinos for a Shepherd here.
Interesting, this one. I don't know what he's given it for. Singleton, that's a tough call, that on Brad Singleton. Really, really tough call.
He's given it against Burrow. It says Burrow impeded the defender. You couldn't see him on the replay, so small. You've just had him behind a couple of blades of grass.
Yeah, tough call, but the game goes on, and Saints again on backs to the wall now. They're a kick to the halfway line, one drive, they're over that and onto the 40, and Saints fans find their voices and they add to the atmosphere here at Headingley.
Yeah, brilliant atmosphere it is. It's the best place in the sport for atmosphere. I don't think there's any doubt about that on a night like this. Here is Roby inside to Walsh, who gets it away to Walmsley. Leeds defending just outside their own 20. Can't afford a slip at this moment in time with about a quarter of the game to go. Roby goes on his own, Roby, as he did it so successfully after just 6 minutes of play to score a brilliant solo try. Last tackle of the set. Walsh is going to go aerial with the boots on ball. Well fielded though by the dependable Leeds skipper Kevin Sinfield.
Yeah, and again I think there's some mileage in the 1 point. Every time you get down here, I'd be taking a 1 point, me, because this game is going to have nothing in it come the end of the game, and for every time you're down here, come away with something will be my motto. And that's for both sides as well, Jonathan.
Ryan Hall has lost the ball here on an exit run, and Saints have got it back with Wilkin. It's out to Turner, chancing for Percival in the corner. Mark Percival has scored for St Helens, and he's scored a try that could take them back to Old Trafford to defend their title. Ryan Hall's exit run, and he just lost the ball in the tackle. Quick hands from the Saints. One of the Leeds players coming across to defend couldn't keep his feet, and Percival's gone for the score in the right hand corner.
They haven't given
been referred.
How did the ball come out? Even if it's reefed out, it's 1-on-1. It's 1-on-1, it's gone backwards. Play on. We don't even need another look.
Trying to see who it was who reefed the ball
Greenwood.
out here.
It was Greenwood.
Joe Greenwood has reefed it out from Ryan Hall, who was making a good run in the process. He'd made a good few yards for Leeds. Got through 2 or 3 tacklers there, didn't he?
Now they've let go of him. They've let go now. So that's got to be classed as 1-on-1. He's pulled it out. It's gone back towards Saints. It's got to be play on. It has to be play on, and John Wilkin picks it up. The game goes on. And then what happened? How did the Leeds defender fall over? Was he pushed? No, he just couldn't get across. Great try for Saints. Has to be a try. Saints go huge favourites to get to Old Trafford, Jonathan.
So Mark Percival, who was down injured just before half-time, is awarded the try by the video referees, and St Helens have struck a major blow in their quest to get to Old Trafford here, and I guess that Leeds fans in this nearside stand will be sucking in hard when Luke Walsh tries to take his conversion attempt from pretty wide out, and they're going to hope that he misses this, because if he's successful, a 7-point margin looks like one that is, well, it's not insurmountable for a Leeds side, is it? But it's going to be very, very difficult to overcome.
It's going to be, difficult, Jonathan, but they were a lot further behind last week with a little less time to go. So, write them off at your peril. There's still plenty of time in this game, and Leeds will certainly have some patches of dominance. Whether they can get over the line when they've got that dominance, only time will tell. But there's certainly twists and turns in this game left, whether he kicks this goal or not, Jonathan.
So Luke Walsh just setting up the conversion attempt, and he's taking it to just outside the 20, a matter of a foot, and he's about 5 metres in from this near side, the right hand touchline, kicking towards the western terrace end of the ground. Leeds 8, St Helens 13. This conversion absolutely vital. Here he is, he's swinging the ball in. It's just across the face of the post and has missed the left hand upright. So tantalisingly, there are 5 points between the sides. Leeds, a converted try would see them nick it by 1 if there are no more points in it for Saints, but we're not ruling anything out here. There's just less than a quarter to go. Anything can happen. Seeing the reaction of Kieran Cunningham on the big screen from the try, because he knows in such a tight game how big a blow that could be.
Yeah, Wilkin taking the ball, and I think John Wilkin's been absolutely magnificent for Saints in this hour. We've got 21 points, Jonathan, in 60 minutes. I think there's at least 10 points in this game in the last 20. I just think it's been so physical, it's been so bruising, it's been so fast. They can't play this speed for 80 minutes, and there's going to be mistakes in the last 10. And I think both as I said, 10 points. I don't know where they're going to go, where they're going to come from, which side, but I do believe there's points in this game, and I don't think 5 points is enough at this moment to win it.
Walmsley then in possession for the Saints. Tackled just inside their own half. Kick comes in from Wilkin. Kind of trapped by Tom Briscoe, who was a suggestion of a little bit of a fumble, but no question from the referee. Let's play continue. Hardacre to Hall. Now Ryan Hall, who's just lost it in the build-up to that try, almost did the same. Precarious stuff from Leeds, passing across the line with the defensive line pretty close, just outside their own 20.
Yeah, I think Leeds don't need to panic. There's plenty of time in this game, 18 minutes. We saw them last week. They only need one player, 1 minute, 1 second to get that try, and there's still plenty of time in this game, and they only need that converted try.
Sinfield has it, offloads to Cuthbertson. Ball bobbles around because there was a bit of lack of communication. Here's Watkins trying to take it into his own hands. Shows a bit of pace, but runs laterally to the right hand side. Now Briscoe has it, mobbed by St Helens' enthusiasm in defence. They're within 10 metres of halfway, but it's the last tackle, and Burrow again tries to pierce the 2 men at the back. Percival, the try scorer, being one of them, and he feels it just over his own goal line.
Well, a bit of common sense and a bit of great play in a set of madness, because Leeds lost the plot on that set. And they've just lost the ball there, St Helens. Ablett has a little smile at the referee. Didn't really see as that famous post again right in front. Ablett, has he got his hand on the ball? Yeah, he has. He's pulled it out, hasn't he? And Percival just let the ball go when he knew the hand was on it and gives away the penalty. But Leeds have lost the plot a little bit in them last couple of minutes, Jonathan. They've panicked a bit, got a bit rusty. Sinfield jumping in at dummy half, guys offloading the ball. Watkins trying to run round the outside almost under 11 style, wasn't it? So Leeds have just got to get a bit of composure back, because as I said, there's still bags of time left in this game.
Peacock makes the tackle, and it is Cervello on the drive for Saints. Tackled on halfway, 16 and a half minutes to go. Time is not the Rhinos' friend at the moment. Kyle Amor has 3 men in attendance in defence, and is put to ground 10 metres inside the Rhinos' half. Roby turns to his right and offloads to Walsh. Cervello once again tries to put a bit of footwork on and get past Leuluai. No way past the big Samoan. Roby back on the inside to Wilkin. Saints just trying to move Leeds around a little bit. Off centre, last tackle of the set. Walsh puts the little grubber in behind the defensive line. McCarthy Scarsbrook chases. Ryan Hall fields, and just his body weight managed to keep him from Josh Jones pushing him back over his own line. Yeah, that's almost as good as a try. Stupid comments, I know, but Ryan Hall had to get back in the field of play there, because Saints were turning the screw, and I'm not sure Leeds defence on their own line could have handled another set of 6. But Ryan Hall, as you said, big and strong, and he managed just somehow to get himself back in the field of play and keep Leeds in the game. Sinfield to his right to Peacock. Roby heading up the Saints defence, but Jamie Peacock, well, we know could be playing his last game in Super League football in these colours, and that will not be the way he wants to be remembered, because that was an offload under heavy pressure, and he gave the ball back to Saints, who are now having another tilt at Leeds through Swift. Adam Swift, 30 metres out from the Leeds line. Another try here now, you feel, would kill it. And it's Saints who have the ball with Amor. And he's tackled and plays it now to Roby. Wilkin to Cervello. Cervello beats one man, gets inside the Leeds 20. Almost straight in front of the post. Roby's going to come down this open side, finds Walsh. Back on the inside is Villa. And he was herring towards the post before the door was closed by two Rhinos defenders, Peacock and Hardacre. Walsh has got support to his outside, but it just got a little bit too close to throw the ball. And Ablett makes the tackle. Last one of the set. Roby tries a tilt from dummy half on his own. This time they can't get through.
How big is that tackle from Jamie Peacock? As you said, 499 appearances, done everything in the game. That tackle was absolutely sensational, and we said has kept Leeds in the game again. Leeds backs against the walls here, do not write them off.
And JP still standing on his own try line. He is really hurting from that tackle on James Roby, but it had to be made. Here are the Rhinos just outside their own 20. 13 minutes and 50 seconds now from that unforgiving finger of the clock. Sinfield going to kick from deep inside his own half. He's possibly a 40-20 here. He's got a 40-20, and Leeds are going to get possession back from absolutely nothing. That's an incredible kick from Kevin Sinfield, almost 60 metres.
Wow. Just wow, when you think Kevin Sinfield has done everything possible in rugby league, and he has done. He comes out with a play with Leeds on the back foot, running out of petrol, running out of ideas. He just takes it on himself to pick the ball up and just kick it 60 metres for a 40-20, and Leeds from being on the back foot and almost out to attacking the line and looking like they've got some points in them. I said with 5 minutes to go, this game's got points left in it, and I still believe that. 5 minutes have gone and we haven't got any, but I still believe there's 10 points in this game, Jonathan.
Well, I'll say it again, what a game. Leeds Rhinos 8, St Helens 13. And here's Cuthbertson for Leeds to Maguire. He's got support from Hardacre and from Hall, and thinks about going on his own. They're having a go at McCarthy Scarsbrook, who of course is stepping in at centre following that reshuffle in the Saints ranks with the injury to Makinson. Sinfield now to Callum Watkins. Watkins also tries to dance his way through the St Helens line, can't get there, held up within 10 of the line. Burrow to Peacock. Here's Sinfield. Sinfield to Maguire. An overlap was created there out on this near side, and that was a great piece of defence from McCarthy Scarsbrook to plug the gap. Sinfield once more. Peacock takes the ball at a standstill. He's come free from the grasp of Cuthbertson, but it's a penalty to Leeds here.
And just going back a play there, Danny Maguire has just given Joel Moon the rounds of the kitchen, because what happened was Maguire had created the 3-on-2, but for some strange reason Joel Moon stood inside. The game goes on, Jonathan. Quick tap.
Garbutt then powering towards the St Helens line. It's taken 4 men to apprehend the big Aussie within a couple of feet. Burrow tries to dummy his way through, Kevin Dick style. Those of you who remember the 77 Challenge Cup final against Widnes, but he can't get there on this occasion. Now it's with Sinfield. Hardacre wrapped up by some fantastic St Helens defence, and the clock goes down below 12. Peacock to Watkins here. Callum Watkins on the far side. Oh, superb defence once more from St Helens, stops him a metre short. Is there a way through here for Leeds? Cries from the home support about something out there on the far side of the field, and they're still throwing it around. Kinehorst to Maguire. Here's Moon. Moon on the inside to Hall. Hall hits the gas. Ryan Hall! Can he get across the line? Ryan Hall might have scored for Leeds, and he could have got a try that wins this game. Saints have got back in numbers to try and stop him, and Robert Hicks says he's going to give this one as a try and refer it upstairs. Hall's nodding to his teammates and says, yes, I've scored it. If he has, it would be his 201st try in Leeds Rhinos colours, but more important, far more important than that, it would get them back to within a point of St Helens. Let's have a look at the replay. Craig Murdoch.
He's over the line, we're watching it now. Has he got the ball down? Has he shot? inch by inch, frame by frame. He's still got hold of the ball. That's a try. That's a try as his wrist is on the ball. We don't need to look at that again for me. That's a try. And Ryan Hall is big, he's strong, and he required every pound of weight he had there to somehow manage to keep hold of that ball and get it down. They're looking at him. For me, his forearm has never left that ball. He's over the line, and he's on the line, he's over the line. What about the defence from St Helens and from Percival? Amazing effort, has just come up a tiny bit short in my opinion. Here comes the decision, Ryan Hall try.
Absolute delirium in the stadium here at Headingley. Unbelievable scenes as Ronnie the Rhino on the far side sliding around in the evening dew. The St Helens players behind the posts are trying to come to terms with what's just happened, and the Rhinos players and fans celebrate, and it's down to Kevin Sinfield once again to try and nose his team ahead.
Yeah, what about the part though of Joel Moon? He took it off his bootlaces and then just popped it back on the inside. But boy, that try took some scoring, and you've got to give Percival some credit because he did everything in his powers, didn't he? Here you go, Jonathan, talk this one over.
Sinfield 10 metres in from this near side, 18 metres back, and straight between. As soon as he struck the ball, it is absolute bedlam at Headingley Stadium, and it's Leeds Rhinos 14, St Helens 13. But don't you believe that this game is over? There are 10 minutes to go, and we've got a side who have won 6 Super League Grand Finals and are the current league leaders, trophy winners and Challenge Cup holders, against a team who've won 5 Grand Finals and are the current champions. 10 minutes to go. What an end to this. Somebody's season.
Jonathan, if you think this game isn't going to go down to the last play of tonight, we're kidding ourselves, aren't we? It's going to go down, the last play. There's going to be something on that last play of the game. There's points in this game still. We've seen 6. There's at least one more try in this game, I'm sure.
We've got a game to call tomorrow. We need to be gargling with something tonight.
This is just the warm-up, Jonathan. The main course is tomorrow.
Yeah, the tension tonight, and just think about that tension tomorrow with the future of a club and which division they're going to be playing in as well, Super League or Championship. That's tomorrow. Wakefield Bradford on Radio Yorkshire. Today, Leeds Rhinos against St Helens, 14-13 to the treble chasing Rhinos. But there's plenty more in this game. Unreal, absolutely unreal, and St Helens have it inside their own 10. And Leeds, just with that extra spring enthusiasm in their defensive step at the moment, are up quickly and stopping the Saints inside their own 20. Roby's going to have a tilt from dummy half. Never say die, as ever. He makes it 10 metres to the 30. They're coming right with Wilkin to Jordan Turner, held by a combination of Ablett and Peacock on the 40. 10 metres a tackle for the Saints, last tackle of the set. Long kick downfield. It's a 40-metre effort from Luke Walsh, and controlled and then raced back by Briscoe for the Rhinos.
And again, long kick downfield by Saints. Ryan Hall on the front foot. Leeds have grown an extra leg, haven't they? That confidence. They were down and out, and that play to Ryan Hall, not only to score the try, but the player that got himself back in the field is the one that have got Leeds on the front foot. And now it's Leeds with all the energy, and they look like the team that's going to be next to score.
Maguire to Cuthbertson. It's a great rugby league. What a game. It's a great game to watch. You see this, how can you ever watch anything else? It's just awesome.
You're preaching to the converted, unfortunately, Jonathan, and the masses out there don't understand what we know. This is the best game in the world.
Sinfield with a reverse kick here. Maguire's chasing it down. Percival's got back for Saints, and he's spilled it under pressure from Maguire. That's a great chase from Danny Maguire. The ball was never really going to come to him, but he just did his job, chased it down, put some pressure on Percival at the back, and just that little bit of tension now in the Saints ranks from going behind, and he's come up with the error really in knocking it dead.
We've talked about some big performances, or I have, from some St Helens players, but the old guard from the Rhinos have been magnificent tonight, haven't they? The holy trinity of Maguire, of Robbie Burrow and of Kevin Sinfield, all three have been brilliant for Leeds tonight.
Walsh's dropout taken on the 40 by Maguire, And it's Cuthbertson now for Leeds. Just over 7 minutes to go. Tried to get a cheeky one away to Hardacre, but he's been told that the held call was made and he can play it again. I remember the time in the game when the ref would have just said, get lost, you can give the ball up to the other team, I'll have a scrum down for that. Here's Peacock.
A good call that the Rugby League have changed though, isn't it?
Yeah, for the better. Jamie Peacock on the 10. Leeds hunting for a try that would perhaps kill Saints off. Here's Garbutt trying to produce it. Just to the right hand side of the uprights. Saints defending for their lives now. Burrowing at dummy half. Looked like it was an offside dash there, but here's Watkins taking that pass. Now it's with Hardacre. Hardacre has got a long ball to his left to Ryan Hall, but he's still got it, and he's going to go centre field himself. Still Zach Hardacre. Eventually tackled by Villa, 2 metres out. Last tackle, kick comes in from Cuthbertson. He had loads of players to his left, but in this just incredible cauldron of an atmosphere, couldn't hear a thing. And Saints get the 20-metre drop out because the ball went dead.
Yeah, it certainly did, and Personal's just been belted as he slipped into the tackle by Garbutt. But wow, the game again, it's just gone up a notch. When we think that both teams are out on the feet, somehow they find some energy and some strength to come up with some plays again. And as I said, don't you kid yourself, this game is going right down to the wire.
Less than 6 to go on Radio Yorkshire. Leeds Rhinos 14, St Helens 13. Mistake by Villa, just inside his own half. And well, the Rhinos, I'm sure they're out there now, all those old heads saying, come on, just settle down, composure. Don't need to win this game again, we're in front here.
And that's a great call, Jonathan. There's two mindsets here. Saints have to win it, Rhinos can lose it. And I'm sure the boys saying in the Rhinos team, let's just 3R6, kick to touch, kick it dead, whatever. We get to the back end of the set and the clock is our best friend.
Scrum got to back down just inside Saints territory. Mistakes like that, just one vital mistake, could prove the difference still in this game. Only a point in it. Leeds, well, they wouldn't want to give away a penalty in a kickable position in their own half. Of course, the same will go for Saints in theirs. And it's they who are defending at the moment. Kinehorse for Leeds out on the right hand side. 5 minutes to go. Still just that point separates the sides. Burrow offloads to Garbutt, who does the same to Kinehorse. Sporting that number 20 on his back, tries to push off a couple of Saints defenders and goes down in the tackle. Leeds 30 metres from the St Helens line. Maguire tries to show and go. He had a foil in Cuthbertson, but James Roby far too smart defensively for that, and makes the tackle. Now it's Sinfield trying to get his way through. Villa, the man who dropped the ball, is up there to make the tackle this time. They've used 5 in the set. Will they come up with a point here perhaps? What are they going to do? Put the ball in the corner, power play. They're going power play, and Peacock has been tackled 5 out on the last.
There's no mileage in a Leeds drop goal, Jonathan, or even a penalty. If Leeds got a penalty, there's no point in them taking that, I don't think, because Saints have got to score. Saints have got to score to win, and I think they'll try everything to get that 4 points and win the game. Right, as I said, it'll go right down to the death, and what Leeds want to do is play the game in this 20. They'll back themselves to stay their defence for Saints not be quick enough or good enough to score from deep. Saints can score from inside the 20, even inside the half. I'm not sure they've got the pace to score from depth.
Mossy Masoe back out there, has a tilt, tackled 10 inside his own half. Here's Roby, Saints with ball in hand inside the Leeds half for the first time in quite some time, but it's Walsh with a hopeful offload to McCarthy-Scarsbrook. McCarthy-Scarsbrook, the big prop forward, playing centre at the moment, gets it away to Roby. They're trying to find a way through this Leeds defence. Both teams must be absolutely out on their feet out there. We're less than 3.5 minutes from the end. Can they find some magic, the champions? Ball is out to the left hand side. It's Josh Jones. Loose enough offload along the deck to Wilkins. A forward pass out the far side. Yep, it was clearly forward to Adam Swift. He had to try it, did John Wilkin. You can't blame him for that. And it's been picked up straight away by referee Hicks. And so Saints pull back and Leeds will get the feed. Leeds will get the ball, I should say, from the handover.
Yeah, they'll get the handover 30 metres from their own line.
The rule book now.
Who cares? Who cares? It's been an amazing game of rugby league, and again, I'm convinced it'll go down to the last play of the game, and 2 minutes 48, Leeds will just use all that experience, all that 500 games, 600 games, and they know how to finish this game off. This is going to be, just grind it down, play the clock, play the field, and if Saints are going to have to win this, they're going to have to win it from deep.
Sinfield to his left to Singleton, who's looking fresher than some of the players out there as he's tackled on halfway by LMS. Now it's with Tom Briscoe, takes it 10-12 metres into the St Helens half. Leeds just sniffing again, trying to force the pressure on St Helens, make them get through more defensive work. Another tackle that they have to complete. 5 have gone in this set. Leeds 20 metres inside the Saints half. Burrow will kick the ball out down this near side to run the clock down a little bit more, and the scrum's going to pack down with a Saints speed. Saints charging over there to try and form that scrum, so the referee will stop the clock. And he gives the signal at 1 minute and 48 to go.
Saints have got maybe 2 sets of 6 at best here to snatch victory out the jaws of defeat. This game doesn't deserve to have a loser, Jonathan, does it? It's had absolutely everything with, none quarter-asked, none given. Both sides absolutely out on the feet, and we go into the last minute and crazy pass from the scrum, and Saints are trying to come up with a play. Leeds trying to stop them from doing that.
What can we see in this final minute and 30 seconds then? Could it be a dramatic end to proceedings as we saw last week? Will Saints snatch a victory from the jaws of defeat? Will it be done to Leeds, or can the Rhinos hold out? 14-13 their lead. Walsh to veer down the left-hand side, the right-hand side for St Helens. It's getting to that stage where even the commentator doesn't know his left from his right. Walsh back inside to Jordan Turner, pops the ball up. Walsh gets it away to Callum Watkins, and Callum Watkins celebrates. The Rhinos fans celebrate, and Leeds Rhinos are going back to Old Trafford, because out of nothing, Callum Watkins has scored an interception try, and with a minute to go, it's Leeds Rhinos 18, St Helens 13. Book your tickets, boys. We're going to Old Trafford.
Wow, just wow. Saints just trying everything they could to keep the ball alive, and the ball hits the floor, and the first man to react is Callum Watkins, who's got too much pace and sprints in from 30 metres. He scores, and it was that try meant that much that even Kevin Sinfield celebrated that try in front of the stand, and you don't see that very often. Kevin Sinfield's such a great professional. He threw his arms in the air and he realised that Leeds are going back to Old Trafford. It's going to be Wigan against Leeds, the same as the first one in 1998, and boy, that's going to be some game next Saturday.
And Tom, who's done a great job for us back in the studio as ever, nod for Tom Maguire, just telling us that Brian McDermott has just gone over and hugged Kieran Cunningham in a great gesture between two fine coaches. Kieran Cunningham's first season, of course, at the helm, and he's not managed to get his side back to Old Trafford to defend that crown. Kevin Sinfield adds the extra 2 points. It was immaterial, it wasn't going to matter, but it means that the record books will say that Leeds Rhinos won this semi-final by 20 points to 13, and the careers of Kevin Sinfield, Jamie Peacock and Kylie Leuluai in Leeds Rhinos colours will finish at a stage that befits, well, 3 great careers, 2 in particular there at Old Trafford next Saturday evening. I'm going to try and get my breath back for about 30 seconds, but I'll let you tell us how it all happened.
What we asked for, Jonathan, didn't we, that both teams could go out and said we give everything we had, we just weren't good enough, and I think Kieran Cunningham will be honest enough to say we gave it our all, everything we had, just Leeds were just too good on the day, and that comes down to some brilliant game management from big game players from the Rhinos. Sinfield, fantastic. Robbie Burrow, fantastic. Danny Maguire, fantastic. Jamie Peacock, fantastic. Wow, can Leeds get themselves up to finish with the treble? Who knows, but boy, we've seen a fantastic game of rugby league here today. And if that's not the best sport and the best game in the world, I don't know what is. A privilege to be here, a privilege to work on it, and all roads lead to Manchester next Saturday night, Jonathan.
And the players, they talk so often about how hard this game is. You've played it, I haven't. You know what it feels like to take those big hits from these big guys, super fit athletes. And when their bodies are hurting on a Saturday morning after a Friday night game, on a Sunday morning, in Jamie Peacock's case, still on a Wednesday morning the following week, this moments like this in front of the home fans with an electric atmosphere and that winning mentality and being able to see games through against great sides like St Helens, it must make all those aches and pains worthwhile.
Yeah, without a doubt. And you see the boys on the TV now, and they've been in this situation before, and they know what it means, and they know what it means to these people here. This is why you do this as a rugby league player, to see these people who pay their good hard money when they've worked all week and come and pay good money to watch you and stay to the end. And Saints have had a dig when their fans stay as well. An amazing game of rugby league, a great game of rugby league, and it was won by the players on the pitch, and Leeds just had that little bit of know-how that when it really mattered, they could come up with a play that was good enough to win the game. What a game, an amazing game of rugby league. How does next week live up to that, Jonathan? I've absolutely no idea.
Well, Leeds and Wigan have had some famous battles over the years, of course, not least that 1998 final, Wembley final since then, and the Rhinos, well, how they would love to end their careers, two or three of the players, with that grand final winners ring next Saturday evening. That's a whole week of discussion and build up and excitement to come. We'll have all of that for you on Radio Yorkshire. The scene here at the moment at Headingley, the Rhinos players have got round in their own little huddle and presumably put together their own little message of what they're going to do this week to address that trophy next week and try and complete that what would be a historic treble for the club. And the players have just gone over and thanked the South Stand, going away now to the Carnegie End to thank the fans down there. Saints have formed their own huddle, and great to see them as well, going away to the right to the Western Terrace and thanking the fans that Craig has just said have stayed behind in numbers here. They've given their team great support, and St Helens, well, they've got nothing to reproach themselves for here. They've given absolutely everything on the night. They have been a champion side, but they've unfortunately, well, they've missed out tonight to a side who could be the champion side.
Yeah, again, I don't want to keep repeating myself, but Kieran Cunningham asked for everything from his Saints side, he's got it. Brian McDermott asked for everything from his Leeds side, and he's got it. And a game that could have gone either way, Jonathan, and you couldn't argue if Saints had won this game tonight. You couldn't argue, but when it really mattered and it came down to it, Ryan Hall came up with two pieces of play, and I said it in commentary, and that play where Ryan Hall got himself back in the field of play has won Leeds this game tonight. That's what won Leeds it. Another set of six, I don't think they could have defended, but Ryan Hall managed somehow to get himself back in the field of play. 2 sets later, he scores a try that effectively wins the game for the Rhinos. It had everything, Jonathan, absolutely everything, and it showed everything what is good about rugby league. And as you said, the Saints fans stay, the Leeds Rhinos fans stay. We'll stay all night and talk about that, because it was absolutely top draw.
Yeah, another incredible Headingley night, and the Rhinos then go to the grand final to take on the Wigan Warriors next week. Jamie Peacock now, barring disasters this week, makes it to a record-extending 11th Super League grand final, the granddaddy of them all, 37 years of age, 38 in December, and what a way to finish his career. Kevin Sinfield, he's captained Leeds to wins in 6 grand finals, 3 World Club challenges, 3 League Leaders Shields, 2 Challenge Cups. He's won a Golden Boot. He's been the Harry Sunderland Award winner for Man of the Match in 2 previous finals, and a winner of a Lance Todd, not to mention his MBE. He's going to finish on that great stage as well. It's just fantastic that that's going to happen for both those players. Results, whatever that may be, next Saturday evening. And it's just been a wonderful occasion, a great evening. Quick recap: James Roby scored for Saints first of all, goal by Walsh. Luke Walsh added a penalty, 8-0 Saints. Zach Hardaker's try and Sinfield's goal, plus a Sinfield penalty, made it 8 apiece. And then Walsh made it 9-8 with a drop goal just before half time. Mark Percival made the best of a mistake from Ryan Hall to nick a try on 60 minutes, 13-8 St Helens. But then Ryan Hall got one back for Leeds with great strength Sinfield goaled it, 14-13 Leeds, and Callum Watkins' interception in the last minute with a goal from Sinfield means it finished here at Headingley. Leeds 20, St Helens 13 from Craig Murdoch and from myself, Jonathan Doidge. Thanks for your company this evening. We'll be at Bellevue tomorrow for Wakefield against Bradford in the £1 million game. From us, good night.
On DAB Digital Radio, online and with live TV, this is Radio Yorkshire.